My name is Spencer Behard, and this is a crayfish tutorial of the crayfish room. Now, in order to run this water system, we have a pump control down here at the bottom. We first turn on these two switches right here by pressing down on these right here. That gets the water system going. And then we twist this thing to right. It's already on. Usually it's like this. If it's off, it's like that. We turn on by twisting that right there. And in order to get the water running, we twist it down. And usually we have it probably at about a quarter down right there in order to get enough water going. Now, it's a good idea to have these tanks already filled up all the way with their crayfish before we're in the water system, so we're not using so much of the water and it gets too low. When it does get too low, you have sensors down here at the bottom that are going to notice it. Those two white sensors right there. And so when the water gets too low, and this right here, it's going to shut down the system. And so you're going to have to wait for it to actually fill back up a little so it can recirculate water, and you reset it by pushing that right there. In order to refill back its water, it's going to take water from this big huge tank right here. And so what you need to do is refill this big huge tank by taking from the top shelf right here blue buckets right there, fill them with water, and then pour them into this big tank right here. The water, when it's being used and goes to the crayfish tanks, comes through this pipe on the right side all the way down right here into here, and then runs through a filter. Now this filter is going to need to be replaced every once in a while. Right now it's good, but it's going to sometimes be filled with crud, and the water is going to look like it's rising above it and trying to fall out. That's when you need to change it. And you see here on the left side, we've got filters to replace that. And then water goes into here where you have these pellets with bacteria on it that are going to denitrify the water. But once a week we're going to need to filter out the water. And we use this device right here into a 5-gallon bucket that we have in one of the rooms. And you're going to filter out 5 gallons once a week. Now if you come over here on the left side, we have our supplies. You have all those tanks right there with the trays. Here we have our enriched environment bags right here that we use for experiment. Here we have our pellets, shrimp pellets, that we use to feed them. Sometimes they do not sink down, so you have to push it down with your finger in order to force them down. Here on the right we have a net to get the crayfish out. Right here we have a timer that you can plug in a light in order to keep it on a 12-hour shift of day light, and then when it's dark at night the lights automatically just shut off. Here we have our PVC pipes. We usually have about one per tank, unless if you're going to have multiple crayfish in a tank, and then you're going to have at least one more than the number of crayfish you have in there. And then right here in the back we have used this to help us identify what the crayfish are, their sex, their size, and what experiment they are in. And we use that a lot to in our operation. And that is all for this crayfish room. Thank you.